SWAC Smoke on the mic, yeah, we bring the flame. Thursday nights, it's a vibe, y'all gon' know the name. C. Wells, Jamie G, Jerome, DJ 2. Facts and flavor mix, that's how the crew do. Catch us live, hit that like, don't be shy. Talking SWAC, y'all, with the jokes that fly. We ain't ducking no smoke, see us holding rank. Discussion, sharp enough to make a ship sink. We got stats, we got smack all rolled in one. SWAC talk like the smoke from a loaded gun. Y'all tune in every week, it's a new vibe. Opinions clash like titans, watch the sparks collide. Here for the teams, for the sports, for the jokes you need. Cut through the noise, watch SWAC Smoke's gonna lead. No fakes, no chill, bring the truth you seek. Every Thursday night, yeah, we running the streak. Catch us live, hit that like, don't be shy. Talking SWAC, y'all, with the jokes that fly. We ain't ducking no smoke, see us holding rank. Discussion, sharp enough to make a ship sink. From the court to the field, we dissect the play. Breaking down the wins and losses of the day. A different crew, but the unity's tight. Facts mixed with the laughs, got you feeling alright.
All right, everybody, we are back. We had a impromptu bye week. I think that was like the theme of the week. You know, we had a couple other people with some impromptu bye weeks, and we had one. So we are back, and it's going down, man. What is happening, Jerome? How you doing?
Doing good, man. Glad to be back. I ain't no coach no more. I'm a cheerleader now. I'm cheering. We got enough coaches. So I'm rooting them in from the stands now, baby. What's up?
That's the way it go, man. Shout out to all my people out there, man. I you know, like I say, we had an impromptu bye week, man, and I'm glad to see everybody in the house, man. Shout out to JB. And that man is a prophet, man. That man right now is on fire, but it's gonna be interesting to see how that game goes. And of course, we're gonna talk about the big game this weekend. We're gonna talk about that in our second segment. We're gonna talk about the action that took place this week, and we're just gonna do what we do, man. You know, we're gonna share our thoughts on a lot of stuff, and go from there. So let's go ahead and jump into week 6. We're gonna start off with I didn't have a chance to get your thoughts on this, and you don't have to talk long on it, but what are your thoughts on that whole Valley FAMU Atlanta situation? Now the game is being played the Thanksgiving weekend. What are your thoughts on that whole situation?
From what I understand, it was the same promoter that had the game down here with Southern and Bethune that got canceled. So I think that had, that had something that was a common denominator in the two. But it's gonna be rough, I think, for FAMU. It's gonna be hard to get up. That's Thanksgiving weekend. It won't be anybody at the game, I'm pretty sure. I think they're moving it back to Mississippi, so I'm sure all the FAMU kids will be gone. And it's going to be a tough game, and just depending on how FAMU finish out the season. But it's going to be tough.
Yeah, like I said, at this point, what is it? 2 years in a row, FAMU got a post Florida Classic game. It seems like y'all making that a habit.
We might well just pencil that in.
Yeah, I mean, through things that have nothing to do with y'all. Y'all kind of got your own thing and making it happen. Yeah, and Bama State look like they trying to run through the SWAC Smoke circuit, man. So we'll see what happens Saturday, and we definitely gonna talk about that, and it's gonna be a good one. But like I said, it just seemed like this is a thing, and I think these people really need to understand what it takes to make these kind of games happen. We see this more often than not, and it really hurts. It really hurts the teams and the fans because it's people who actually had made arrangements to go to this game and bought tickets and everything. So now now you sitting there, not knowing what's what, but and now you got another. And if you're the team, now you got to buy a week out of all of this. So
yeah, well, FAMU needed it. FAMU needed it after they got the egg scrambled against Bama State. So it wasn't a bad time to get a bye week, but they walking into a buzzsaw. So steep hill to climb for FAMU coming up.
Oh yeah, it's a
So
steep
go
hill to
ahead.
climb. It's a steep hill to climb, and y'all ain't got no legs, so that's gonna be
Right.
that's gonna be
PV by
interesting.
PV by 30. He looking.
We're gonna leave them alone. They got a bye week this week. We're gonna say them for whatever happens after Saturday. But let's go ahead and look at the action from last week, man. We're gonna start off with Alabama State and Bethune-Cookman. I'm gonna start it off because I was actually kind of moving stuff from our store unit back to our house Saturday when that game started, and I was actually had my phone in my pocket, and I heard that first play, and I was like, "Oh Lord, this game is gonna be bananas." You know what I'm saying? Bethune-Cookman, they look like they're gonna really, come out here. But Bama State stayed the course. They didn't deviate from what they wanted to do. Ultimately, it went up 31-14 at the half, and they kind of gave up some points late, but I think they control this game. Again, everybody not a amazing game, but he hit the guys that he needed to hit, and he made some things happen. And Kirkendall came out the box this week, 106 yards and a touchdown. But Bethune still, they're still showing the ability to score points. They can't stop nobody, but they still, showing the ability to score points.
Well, Bethune, they couldn't keep up with Bama State. Keep it short. Bama State offense is the truth right now. I think they got the best offense in the SWAC, the way it looked. JB told me they good for 30, 31 points a game. And ever since he told me that, I've been watching it. That's what they've been doing. So, I thought Bethune might have had a chance if they had a little bit of a defense that showed up for them in that game and got a break, with some turnover or big play or something like that. But Bama State was too much for them at the homecoming, and they just seem to be a team on a mission this year.
Yeah, they doing what they doing what they need to do. They don't make mistakes. They don't turn the ball over. They don't commit penalties. They can run the ball. They can throw the ball. The defense is coming around, which I kind of figured by this point in the season, defense would be getting themselves back to where they need to be. So they definitely are. They definitely are. They looking good right now. So that definitely makes some things happen. What's up, Big Soldier? What's going on with you?
What's happening, man? How y'all doing, man? I'm glad to be back. Finally,
That's good.
be able to do another episode, man. About
That's
time.
good to have you. Good to have you back in the house, man.
Happy homecoming.
Yeah,
Yeah,
happy homecoming.
Appreciate that, man. They
Happy
already at the
homecoming.
block party, setting up. Hey, it's home. It's officially homecoming season now.
Oh, yeah,
Oh
it's
I
yeah.
hear that.
popping. So we talking about Bama State and Bethune, man. What's your thoughts on that game?
Well, like you said, Bethune looked like they was gonna come out there and make a little noise from the first play, but hey, Bama State shut the door. I mean, when they got up 24-7, man, it was really nothing else Bethune could do. You know what I'm saying? Bama State, proved like, hey, y'all niggas don't belong on the field with us. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, shoot, Bama State was able to run the ball. I mean, they was just able to control the whole game, do what they wanted to do, and
Yeah.
when Cam Ransom went down, in my opinion, I think that would change the whole perspective of the game because McClain coming there, he didn't do too much of anything memorable. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean, losing Cam Ransom always gonna affect your offense. I mean, you see that, early in the season when they had him, they had him out and they were starting McClain and the offense really wasn't doing that. They made a change and the offense clicked again. He just brings something different to the offense. But hopefully Ransom okay, you know what I'm saying? And he'll be back and get that offense back right. So we're gonna go from one game that had a lot of points to a game that had hardly no points. I watched a lot of this game. And that's Purview 13, Alcorn 12. Purview blocked the extra point on Alcorn for Alcorn, and that basically was the difference in this game. The end of that game, it was Alcorn in a nutshell. Purview defense stood up. They've been playing some good defense these last few weeks. The offense wasn't quite where they were in recent weeks, but they doing what you need to do to win. And like I told people last year, when a certain team was winning these close games, it don't matter. And now I see people happy that their team winning close games. Last year, y'all was criticizing somebody for winning close games. It feels good, don't it, to win close games, don't it? Y'all love it. It feels good. It feels good to have people talk about how y'all managed to escape. Hey, a win is a win, and they did it. But I will say Alcorn that I know Coach Thomas tried to explain it away, but them two passes inside at the 25, man, that just that was egregious. If you feel like your kicker don't have the leg, you got two good backs. Still, see what happens. You pick up a couple yards, you make the field goal closer.
Right.
And then how many carries that dude had in the game total? And one but 9 carries, bro.
Yeah,
9 freaking carries.
Right. Well,
One of the best running backs in the damn SWAC. 9 carries, man.
What? Purview had to come back and make a field goal or something to win the game, though, right?
Well, they took the lead with a fourth quarter field goal, and Alcorn had the ball, late. That was a crazy play they had to get down there over the guy.
When Alcorn missed their extra point, that previous touchdown or whatever.
Blocked it.
When that happened, I knew they wasn't gonna win. Cause it was like 6 minutes or something like that left in the game. I was like, they're not gonna win this. And sure enough, my man did what they had to do.
Hey, what's up, Zoe? What's going on?
Zoe Phillips in the building.
Oh, y'all know it's going down now. But like I said, when you win close games, man, it feels good. I don't care what y'all say. So enjoy y'all close wins. You can call it whatever you want. Enjoy them. Eventually it's gonna come. You're gonna get where you need to go. You keep winning. But I don't know. I don't know about Alcorn, man. I don't know about them right now. They sitting in a spot. They sitting in a spot that really.
They right at the point of no return. It's almost about to close the door on this season for them.
Oh yeah.
They about to have to just turn in the spoiler. Because if they lose to Lincoln, the bag don't go.
Don't put that juju out there, man.
It's a damn possibility that boy can lose to Lincoln. You know it.
Hey, I don't.
You know it.
I'm a mute everybody who say somebody about to lose to Lincoln. We are not gonna talk like that on this show.
All right. I'll be quiet for 30 seconds.
You can say that about losing the Valley. You can say that about losing to whoever else. You can say that about losing to a D2 team, but we are not gonna say losing to Lincoln or Westgate Christian. We just not gonna go there, man. We're gonna think positive, even if it's a 14-7 game, we gonna think positive. We gonna take dubs in these games because let me tell you, man, if one of these teams lose to these teams, that affect all of us. We all look bad, especially we can't beat that team that lost to Lincoln. So
I'm sorry, it's gonna make Jack State look bad because we don't play Lincoln.
No, but you play them. You play them, though. You play them.
I mean, I'm just saying. They can't. They can't have the same. Be playing like they've been playing. Put it like that right there.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. I agree with that. But all I'm saying is, for some of us, I'm gonna leave good teams out of this. But for some of us, we can't afford to have a team lose to Lincoln and then turn around and play that team and lose to that team. That's not a good look. So that's just for some of us, not all of us. Some of us, and I'm gonna leave it at that. But we'll get there in a minute.
Y'all gonna lose 2 homecomings to Bama State back to back.
Damn lie. Don't even.
Hey, we're gonna get there in a minute, y'all. Let's finish week 6, man. Let's finish.
All right, go ahead. Go
Let's
ahead.
finish
Go
week
ahead.
6 before we spend like 40 minutes on week 6 like we did another time. Speaking of Jackson State, a lot of people had this team on upset alert. I wish I did some shows last week because I was like, I don't see it at all. I did not understand how a lot of people thought Jackson State was on upset alert. Alabama A&M was going to stop their running game when they just lost to Bethune-Cookman the week before. I didn't see it, and obviously Jackson State didn't see it. And 57-24, I don't think the game was that close.
Morgan showed up. The SWAC Player of the Year. He showed up that game.
Man, let me say this, because like I said, we didn't have a show last week. I told everybody, because at the game at the Southern Jackson State game, there had a lot of Jackson State people around me. I was like, bro, y'all so hard on that dude, bro. Y'all know y'all gonna need that dude down the line.
Hey, y'all hard on him. Who hard on him?
Man, you weren't at the game, bro. It was mad people in front of me fussing about the dude every time he make a play. It was the same thing when FAMU had Musa and had McKay. Everybody hard on these guys, man, but these guys get the job done for you. And some of them kill for that quarterback, bro.
I know I'm missing. Either one of them.
But 300 yards back-to-back weeks for Jacoby Morgan, 120 on the ground this week. The dude had a hell of a game. He had a hell of a game. But they did what they needed to do, man. Honestly, these are the kind of games that show what you made of. Shamar Savage had a big game. Dupree,
he caught his touchdown.
Had his touchdown. Bro, the team got a lot of weapons, and you have to. I don't know. They ran for 300, threw for 300. What you gonna do in that case? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they finally bust them all out the box last weekend. It's like they had been saving here, there, and whatever because we weren't seeing it all. But it's like everybody hit their stride last weekend. But Bama State defense ain't they ain't the toughest D, but I mean Bama A&M, but they exploited them. They did what they were supposed to do, not hang around with them and let it be close and all that kind of stuff.
And unlike last couple of years, they didn't let them back in the game. They put their foot on their neck and they made the plays, and so that put them in the position. And we're gonna go ahead and get past this last game. And no offense to nobody out there from TSU or Pine Bluff, but I don't know what the hell happened to Pine Bluff in this game. They must have forgot when they moved that game to Houston Christian that they had to go over there and play. I think they went to the soccer stadium first and didn't realize that they had the game at Houston Christian. And then they had to make their way across town to the game, and it was too late by that point because it was 51-7, bro. I did not expect that. I did not expect that.
Right. Well, I didn't expect Texas Southern to put up that many points. I'll say that, but I figured they would win the game. I just didn't know it was going to be like that. They might need to play all their games over there.
They might need to.
Let this soccer stadium go.
something worked for them over there. They found some kind of mojo over there that they didn't have before. So I mean, they scored 51 points in one game. They hadn't scored almost 51 points in a couple games combined. So they did what they needed to do, man, and had a good game from Cooper, 2 touchdowns. Renfro ran for 133. Richardson 103 and 2 touchdowns through the air. So they made Pine Bluff look really bad in that second and third quarter, and Pine Bluff threw away all the momentum they had from beating Alcorn. They threw it completely away, and now they back to square one. And that's pretty much it for week 6, man. Y'all got anything else y'all want to add before we start to move forward?
I'm good.
All right, we're gonna
we can move on.
All right, well, we're gonna take a quick pause for the calls, y'all. We got a little special. Y'all know we have our video clips in here, so we're gonna hit y'all with one. and then we're gonna be back to talk about week 7 and what our thoughts are.
Okay. Come on, who needs that? Come on, y'all. Come on. Okay. Bop, bop. Bop, bop.
Man, I'm having issues here. What am all right, we are attempting to get right, man. I'm having all kind of problems here. Man, that was an interesting video, bro. The background vocals,
Wow.
the background vocals.
Who band that was? I ain't even really. But
That was
Texas
the motion of the ocean, man. That was the motion of the
Hey.
ocean. But I love that background, bro. Whoever that is in the
Crook.
background, salute to you, bro.
Hey, Crook, since FAMU is a MEAC band, that's my favorite SWAC band right there. Texas Southern.
Oh,
He's
okay
still in
now.
here.
Okay
I know he's
now.
still in here.
He around here floating around somewhere. But that was definitely interesting, man. I don't even know. I don't even know. Like the video itself was fine, man. I love the motion of the ocean. I always have, always will. But whoever
Narration.
that was in the background narrating, man, salute to you, bro. I was on the floor.
Yeah.
That's why I had to shut up.
I love it. I love it. I love it. But week 7, week 7, we got a hell of a game in week 7, which we're gonna probably spend the bulk of the time talking about. We got a couple. I don't even know what they call them. One of them, ESPN, not even listing it on the on the schedule. And so we're gonna get these 2 games out of the way. First off, is Lincoln? Are they showing up to Alcorn? Do we know 100% for sure?
No.
The last game they played, they lost 90-0. So then they canceled their next couple of games. That I don't even know what to say. Alcorn, they'll win this game. They'll do what they got to do and move on. I don't have a lot to say about that game.
Yeah, Alcorn gonna win that game, man. I'm just talking trash.
Yeah, they should win that game pretty easy. Even though they ain't having a great season like they supposed to, I imagine they're gonna win that game. If they lose that one, Somebody gonna get their head rolled. They lose that one.
Yeah, that's a. I said I don't want to talk like that, but that's a fireable offense when it happens. Like that's one of them things when the clock hits 0, you might not even go to the locker room because it's over for you.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So move on from that one.
Westgate Christian, they 1-5. They won their first game over Louisiana Christian Community College. I never even heard that school before, but they won that game. No, that's not the same team. That's not that one. This is another team.
Oh, it's another team. Okay.
Yeah, that used to be Louisiana College, but that's not this team. This is a community college. I don't know who it is. I don't know where they're from. They won that game, then they lost their next 5. They just scored some points, but they didn't gave up a ton of points too. So Pine Bluff, same thing. You got to win this game, and hopefully it's the last time we ever hear this team, and we move away from them. So Pine Bluff win, Alcorn win, move on to those, or move on away from those games. We'll go Valley at Alabama A&M, Bulldogs homecoming. What y'all thoughts on that game?
I'm going with Alabama A&M. Hopefully the quarterback getting better, and hopefully they get some kind of their defense show up. Because if not, Valley been doing a little bit on offense. So in them early games, but I still believe Bama State got enough to pull it out. I mean, Bama A&M. I always get them confused.
They don't that get you hurt now. Certain parts of town, certain time of year, they get you hurt.
Bama this, Bama that.
all I'm gonna say is I'm going Alabama A&M in this game. All I'm gonna say is Valley gave up 34 points to Southern. You ain't beating nobody if you give up 34 points to Southern. I don't care what y'all say about Coach Buckley. That's my guy. But you got 34 points to Southern on your record. That's not gonna erase my doubts about your team. I think A&M win this game. I don't know who playing quarterback. I think Corey Brown might be hurt still. But I think they got enough to win this game. Valley they're gonna play hard. They're gonna play hard. But I think A&M win this game by a couple touchdowns.
Yeah, they should. They should definitely, because I think Alabama A&M got an offense that's gonna be able to definitely score points. So I mean, it ain't gonna be without no question. I think Bama A&M got this.
Yeah, and it's homecoming. It's homecoming. And they home.
Yeah, so they've been playing well at home. So they can get back there and put up some points against Valley, and Valley, like I said, Valley gonna come out and they're gonna play hard. They're gonna compete, but I think they still a ways away from where they need to be. And so, like I said, I'll rock with the Bulldogs though. All right. I really don't want to talk about this game, but it's on the schedule, so we might well get this out of the way. Southern playing Bethune-Cookman in Daytona.
That's a pretty good game coming up, though. Honestly, I think that's a pretty good matchup.
I don't even know what that like.
I got to roll with Bethune at home. On the beach, and they scoring points. I think it's gonna be enough. And until Southern can figure out what Southern is just like FAMU, they don't know what they're gonna do on offense, and that affect the defense.
Well, the problem with Southern is we know what we want to do. We just don't do it. Like we Southern want to run the football. Everybody in the stadium knows Southern want to run the football. But it comes a point in the game where you do have to have a passing attack, and we don't know what that is. Like I said, Jalen Woods back at practice. Will he play? He's been out for multiple weeks, so you got to deal with that. You got the defense on the field too much, giving up big plays when the defense on the field. Southern can run for 400 yards and still lose this game, because if we don't score points, we good at moving the ball up and down the field, but we can't cash in opportunities, penalties, turnovers. Southern got to get out their own way. I think Bethune-Cookman, the offense is playing well enough that they can win this game because of the offense. And their defense don't have to do a lot in this game if they can score points. I don't think Southern can match that. And so in the preseason, I was like, ain't no way in hell Southern to lose this game. Now I'm like, almost don't feel like they can win it. But I'm always believe on Saturdays. But I think Bethune gonna pull it off, man. I want to be wrong, but I think Southern, they got to be able to have some kind of consistency on offense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I just see Bethune putting up the points. Southern running attack, they might bust off 1 or 2 runs. He good for a 80-yarder or a 60-yarder at least. But it's only so much of that. I don't think that he'll be able to continually do that over and over again before they sure it up. That's what's been happening to Southern. And then when they have to pass, that's when it gets sketchy. And then, and the other team keeps scoring points and it just becomes a snowball.
Now we could go on a bunch of long drives and bleed the clock in some kind of way, keep this thing under 25 points. We got a chance. But if it get over 28 points, it's gonna be dicey. But last year that game was crazy. So who knows? But I want to be wrong, man. Because we still got a lot in front of us. I'm not going to act like the season over right now, but you gotta show up and you have to make some things happen. I don't want to get too excited about a team with bad run defense because I know how my team has focused this season. So they seem to be saying the right things. So we'll see. But right now I can't pick a team that ain't been playing well to win a game if I'm just being fair. You know what I'm saying? So that's that one. North Carolina Central at FAMU.
Central gonna win. I mean, they should win. FAMU offense got to show up. If not, they're gonna run the ball all over us and just control the clock.
If RJ Johnson playing, we definitely know y'all gonna lose.
Yeah, we gotta figure something out. On the offense, gotta figure something out. This game don't mean a lot because it's not a SWAC game. But it means everything because it's in Bragg. The people at Bragg kind of feeling uneasy about losing games in Bragg. They're not accustomed to that. Cozy record might fall under 500 or he at 500 or something like that. It might have helped if he'd have got that Valley game in last week and maybe they could have found something to get themselves right before they won it, coming to a game against arguably the best team in Black college football. I mean, they looking like they destined for the Celebration Bowl. So it's a Herculean task, as they say, but hey, you got to play the game one play at a time. That's all. But if I was gambling, I'd pick Central.
And you a smart gambler.
Hey, that's how you win money and not lose money.
Lose money. To win, not to lose money.
Sometimes you gotta go with your head, not your heart. So, but like I said, Central offensively, they playing some really good football. Chris Mosley is running the hell out of the ball. Walker Harris been playing pretty solid. He still have his up and down moments, but he's making some things happen through the air. The defense been prone to big plays this season, though. I don't know if FAMU offense could hit enough of them, but you still got to withstand their offensive attack, and I think that's enough for Central in this game. I think their offense is more than enough to get them through this game and pick up the win. I think it's gonna be a lot. I think it's probably gonna be similar to our game against them. Y'all gonna get some plays here and there, but they're gonna go on them drives and they're gonna pull it out.
Well, I'm hoping that they come in unfocused and thinking it's gonna be sweet and a cakewalk. And that's what I'm hoping, that they come in and don't stay completely locked in, and that'll give us a chance to get ourselves together. But family football team got to do something. Brag ain't brag if they ain't doing nothing. It's kind of hard to cheer and be loud and all that kind of stuff. So I think the players know they gotta give us a reason, to get up and cheer and do whatever, So, but we'll see.
And Coach Cozy know too. He was like, if it don't work, his ass ain't gonna beat us. So
That's exactly what he said.
that's what he said. So I mean, I respect the coach that say that, man. Don't sugarcoat it and don't lie to me.
That's exactly what he said.
And let's be honest. He's not the only coach in the league that got that onus on him. He's just the only one who said it. Some of these coaches still trying to fool you into believing that they cool if they lose. It ain't all sweet, bro. So I think I think they can help you something, but not enough to get you over the hump in this game. But like you said, ultimately it's still a non-conference game, so you still got things that you can accomplish, but you do want to come out and play well in this game.
They gotta have a good showing.
Yeah, you got to. You can't get manhandled in this game.
Right.
Especially to a team that people familiar with. You can't get manhandled in this game. We got one more game before we get to the big game, and it's homecoming at Grambling. We got Texas Southern coming to the hole to take on the Grambling Tigers. Obviously, we saw what TSU did. They're on a 2-game winning streak. Grambling coming in off of a bye week and a loss to Prairie View the week before that. These are two teams. I don't know where they are. Honestly, you really can't predict these two teams, man. Grambling has some games that have been close that shouldn't have been close. Texas Southern ain't really been playing well before last week. I don't know. I'm going with Grambling just because it's in the hole and it's homecoming. I think Grambling will find a way to win, and
I'm going with Texas Southern. I got Texas Southern. I think Texas Southern has shown me more grit, and even in their losses, Grambling done been, like you say, up and down. They done played all over the spectrum. The best team in the country, the worst team in the country. So I don't know if they really. I don't think they got themselves as prepared as Texas A&M is.
Texas Southern.
Texas Southern.
Yeah. Well, you really forecasting a beat down.
Yeah,
I'm reading Bama A&M and looking.
Man, the Aggies got 2 games on Saturday, bro.
two SEC and a SWAC game.
I'm dyslexic, man. Hey. But nah, I think Texas Southern gonna pull this one out, even at their homecoming. I just believe it. Like you say, Grambling just ain't consistent.
So, how about you, Big Soldier? What you think about this game?
Oh yeah. I ain't got no faith in Grambling. I ain't had no faith in them since last year. I feel like Southern could beat Grambling right now.
Damn.
That's the honest truth.
That shit hurts. I feel like we always gonna beat Grambling. That hurts,
yeah. It's gonna be our year to beat Grambling. Grambling. Yeah, I think Texas still got a shot of winning the West. So you know what I'm saying. They gonna definitely come in. They gonna be ready. I think they'll get Grambling the business it's in the hole, right?
Yeah, it's in the hole.
Yeah. This homecoming, so the Grambling people might show up. They say they come for the homecoming game. So, but yeah, let's get to the big ones, man. I'm gonna shock everybody.
All the undercard fights out the way. Let's talk about this heavyweight bout. Both teams 4-1. Both teams 2-0 in conference. Both teams offensively putting up points. They both running the ball well. 1-2 in the conference in rushing. Defensively, I think JSU got a little edge defensively, but we'll talk about all of that. I'm a I'm gonna let Big Soldier start it off. I'm gonna let the Jackson State person start it off.
Okay, this gonna be, this the one we've been waiting on. This gonna be the game of the year, the SWAC Super Bowl. Both teams are kind of similar. You know what I'm saying? They're playing good defense, scoring a lot of offensive points. But you know what I'm saying? I think this game could potentially be a shootout. This game can be a potential blowout. And when I say a blowout, I ain't saying like somebody losing by 3-4 touchdowns. I feel like, it could be somebody losing by at least two touchdowns. Andrew Body been playing really good so far, and he hadn't thrown a pick or interception or anything. But I think this is gonna be the game. I think Jackson State gonna be able to turn them over and give them a couple fits. I think the key in this game, I think Jackson State is gonna have to keep everything in front of them, stop Alabama State's run, and limit the penalties. And I think win time of possession. And I definitely think they will win. I think as long as they keep the ball out of body hands as long as possible, because they can score quick, it's gonna be better. You know what I'm saying? I think Jack State, honestly, I just think they have a little bit more talent than Bama State when it comes to running the football and just overall, period. So, man, I got JSU winning this game, man, and I think they understand the magnitude of this game, and it's more so pressure on JSU than Alabama State. So I think that just as long as they come in there and just not limit them penalties, clean up penalties, because when JSU plays a complete game, I mean, as you can see with the Alabama A&M game, even though they put up a lot of penalties, man, that train is unstoppable. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
But they ain't gonna be able to have them penalties against Bama State because Bama State offense, like I said, I think they the best offense in the SWAC, and probably the best offense that Jackson State defense has seen this year, and that include Trent Dilfer, whoever they played.
UAB.
No, I'm talking about Southern Miss, right? Wasn't it Southern Miss?
Yeah, Jackson played,
yeah.
USM. Yeah. But Bama State can throw the ball, they can run the ball for power. They got a little gadget where they can get to the outside, and then you got the third factor with Body running the ball, which he ain't in that FAMU game. He ain't do it so much, you know what I mean? But so it's gonna be close. Jackson D line, that front line got to show up, and Jackson run game is going to be very important because if Bama State can get the Jackson run game kind of under control, they can't let them get 300 yards like Jackson did last week. But if they can keep them under 200 yards rushing and kind of keep them in third and over 5 or 3rd and 5, where it's kind of iffy, and they have to complete a on time passing play, then I think that bode well for Bama State, But
well, let me speak from the perspective of a team that lost to both teams pretty soundly. I felt like we had a better chance against Bama State, even though the game ended up 30-7. It was 7-6. We fumbled 2 times. I really felt like we didn't necessarily, outside of the first half, second half, I felt like we didn't really have a good chance against Jackson State. The thing about Jackson State is they run the ball extremely well. They got speed, they got power, and now that Morgan can chipping in the run game, that makes it even better. But similar to Bama State, they both can hit you with the big pass play. But Jackson State, they love the deep ball. And if you get caught looking in that backfield, they got enough guys that can hit you deep. And then when you get concerned about that, you get Rembert or somebody on the outside and they take 82 yards on you. Bama State can
it
do the
don't have to
same
be
thing.
for a touchdown.
Yeah,
That could be a deep shot to get them
that
down
can get them down there.
to the red
And
zone. It don't necessarily go for a touchdown.
now Bama State, can do the same thing. You know, they run. I think their offense is more about scheme. They love to get you going one way and come back. You know, they love them, misdirection. They love throwbacks. They love screens and all that stuff. And you have to tackle against Bama State.
Yep.
They got good backs. Of course, I always did love Carl Ligon before he left Southern. Hose Clark, Kirkendall, Marcus Harris. The list go on and on. And Andrew Body, when he want to get out the pocket, he can be dangerous. But, if you keep him in the pocket, you got a better chance than not.
Beating them, yeah.
But I think the difference is on the defense side of the ball. Jackson State defense, I think, is the better of the two. I think they more stout up front. I think the linebackers are better. Secondary can make plays, and none of that's taken away from Bama State. But I think Jackson State defense is better. I think that's the difference
Bama State
in this game.
Probably right now, I think they secondary is a little better than Jackson State secondary. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes J State has a tendency when if they got them little speedy receivers, them safeties, if they let them get in front of them, it's good night. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. That. And like I said, the big play can be had on. Any team can get hit with a big play. All it takes is one guy out of position, and you got a long touchdown. But you're not gonna be able to do that against either one of these teams all game long. I think if this game settles into a grind it out type of game, I think the edge go to the team that's not scared to run the football. And if Jackson State get a lead, I think that's gonna help them because TC gonna run the hell out of the football if he have to. And I think if they can, like you said, it's a big if because Bama State been real careful with the football. If they turn them over a time or two, that could be the difference. But I also think Jackson State got to clean up them penalties.
Yeah,
I mean they're the most penalized team in the league right now. They've been able to withstand that, but a game like this, a touchdown callback because of a penalty, just take the Southern game for example. They had a touchdown. They had a touchdown callback. They missed the field goal. You can't do that in this game. And Baszler don't normally miss field goals, so I was surprised he missed 2 in that game. But
y'all let the punter and let them get the opportunity to score before the half in that game.
We tackled the hell out of that punter. I was surprised they called a 5-yard out of 15. That happened right in front of me. The boy tackled the hell out of the boy. But you can't give teams second chances. And if Jackson State, get a stop or they get a touchdown or they get called back, you can't keep doing that in a game like this. And so I think that and turnovers are the key to this game. Whoever can take care of football, whoever can not make the bad mistakes, because you're gonna have penalties. And good teams are always gonna have penalties. As long as they're not, like I always say, you got aggressive penalties, then you got stupid penalties. As long as it's not like a dumb penalty, you can withstand it. But a game like this, I think you need to play as clean as you can play. And when it's all even like that, I still think Jackson State is the top team. They're defending champs. They've been in this situation. They understand what it is, Yep. And that's an edge in a game like this.
Well, it's homecoming around Jackson State. You know what I'm saying? I think the mindset, is a little different from the first time we played from homecoming. So I mean. Hey, this team locked in, man. I think this team know where it was at stake. So you know what I'm saying. Hey, you got to come with it because if you don't, you know what I'm saying. You behind the 8 ball, in the standings. And you don't want to be that one trying to play catch up.
Yeah, and for me, this game it's not over if you lose, but it's hard as hell if you lose. Because now you need that team to lose 2 times and you can't lose no more. I don't think either one of the team gonna lose twice in this season in conference play. So if you lose this game, you probably are out. But it's do or die for Bama State because this is really their chance. If they miss it, there's no playoffs at all. So
Right.
and then you sitting there hoping for Jackson State to lose 2 games to. And no offense to none of these teams, but Valley, Alcorn,
Fam.
FAMU, Bethune. You know, like you're not gonna. I mean, you know, one of them teams might catch you on an off night, but 2 of them teams are not gonna catch you. So you have to be able to win this game. Now, the Match City Classic is a big game after this. So Bama State win, they're not out the woods. So I think that plays a big factor in this game too. But it's gonna be a good one, man. I think it's gonna be a good one.
And then
I feel like
one of these teams might, if they did get a loss and can possibly win out, but they have to win out by a large margin to be able to get into these playoffs. Because I think it ain't about the margin of wins when it comes to picking the teams out the SWAC.
Oh yeah, it's gonna come down to a whole lot of a whole lot of different things to get there. So
I got this as a pick 'em, but I'm gonna give it the advantage to Jackson by being at home and being homecoming. But it wouldn't surprise me if Bama State go back up in there and pull out a victory. I think that Coach Robinson is ready for it. I think he the coach to do it. You know, he's done it before, so I think he can keep his boys focused, and they can possibly go in there and pull out a victory. But you know, looking at all things like we have seen, Jackson should win this game, like you say, because of defense and the running game. But Bama State, you can't take them light. They've been right there for these last 3 years. This is their best opportunity. I've seen them up close and personal. They seem to be on a mission. They didn't get at Bragg. They didn't get caught up into the fanfare. They wasn't looking into the stands. They wasn't engaging with the crowd. You know, they on timeouts. They kept focused. This is some of the things that I noticed. So I think they can carry that same old idea into the game against Jackson and make this game competitive.
Yeah, I agree. And I want to make a petition. If the West champ got more than 2 losses, can we bow them out and get a rematch in the SWAC championship game?
between these two,
yeah.
Bama State and Jackson.
Now, if PV run the table, that means they beat Bama State. So if that happens, then no, we can go ahead and send the Panthers there. But if some kind of way it become one of them crazy West seasons, can we just slide that team out and put the loser of this game in there and get a rematch? So we can have a definitive winner.
PV is definitely in the driver's seat.
Oh yeah, I mean, like I say, that just to look at it from that perspective, if Southern lose Saturday, Prairie View basically got the thing on lock, and then they play them the next week, so they conceivably slam the door on Southern in 2 weeks.
Right.
And they already done beat Texas Southern. They already beat Grambling. They already beat Alcorn.
They
got the division locked. So
right.
if they as long as they win, they got the division locked up. So it could be it could be interesting. But again, I'm not gonna count nothing out because this conference this division is nutty, and you just never know. And I'm gonna carry that with me until my team got 3 conference losses. Then I'm gonna leave it alone. So
what
it could be in 2 weeks.
Jackson game.
2:30.
2:30. So it'll be like starting in the middle of the FAMU game, I guess. The FAMU game is 3.
Yeah, their scheduling this week is very, very ass. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
You got a big game like this. This should really be one of them games that in a time slot of its own. I know that. Like I said, I think this is a game that should be like the all attention. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
I said it yesterday. Well, the show came out today, but I said it yesterday because for some reason my show took a long time to upload this week. That's why it came out today instead of yesterday. But I was like, this is the kind of game that if your team playing, you put your team on the phone and watch this game on the TV. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to watch this game, man. Like I ain't got no problem watching my team on my phone and watching this game, but you know, I think this game deserves the attention that it's getting. You know, a lot of time we talk about hype games and we do this and that, but these two teams that put themselves in a position for this game to mean a lot. And you know, barring anything crazy, you know, turnovers out the ass and all that kind of stuff, this should be a competitive game. So I expect it to be a fourth quarter game, and may the best team win.
I just hope they don't fight after the game, win, lose, or whatever.
Yeah, man. Let's
mess up.
like my boy Coach Dooley used to say, let's fight in between the lines for 60 minutes and then don't fight after the game.
Did you see A&T coach say his team, when they listen to the NBA Youngboy, they the toughest team out.
Yeah, and then when the game kick off, they ain't got it. They ain't got it.
That tickled me, man. I was like, heck no, man.
Dude, that could be said for probably a lot of teams nowadays.
I honestly picked Bethune in this game, man. I'm trying some reverse psychology because I obviously don't want Southern to lose, but I'm trying to reverse jinx this stuff. So I'm picking against Southern until they actually start winning. So that's where I'm at right now with this one. But whoo, this should be a good game, man. As long as it stay clean, like you say, keep all the emotion and foolishness out of it, and play some clean football. I think it'd be a good game, man. I think it'd be a really good game. But
I'll be at the FAMU game, but I'm sure they'll be announcing the score, and I'll be checking on my phone just to see, and then I'll pull it up Sunday. Hopefully, it's on ESPN.
Yep, ESPNU.
ESPNU.
Okay, so I probably be able to look at it on Sunday, I guess.
This definitely one of them games I would have my phone out if I was at the game. I'd have my phone out checking the score for sure, because you definitely got to keep tabs on this, because this gonna I don't want to make it way bigger than what it is, but it's gonna shake up some things in the conference, So
yeah, man. But Bama State been fighting for this point for 3 years to get into this game with the quarterback. So I want to see what it looked like, because they really haven't gone into this game with their man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this is what they've been pointing at. This is what they've been waiting for, and now they got it. Yeah. So
yeah,
this is opportunity.
But yeah, so this kind of going to settle it down to, we got the 3 teams that's already at the top, and that's Jackson, Bama State, and Prairie View. They pretty much at the top of the SWAC, and then everybody else is on the bubble. Their season is on the verge.
Yes, everybody else is like, hey. We had SWAC basketball media day this week. That's my focus. Somebody asked me about covering basketball this year. I'm like, hell yeah. I start covering basketball today if I could. Some of us almost at the point where you got to start looking for something else to get you through the fall. But
you remember I sent y'all that basketball video about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, yes.
Yeah, fam, you got some 7-footers down there this year. We'll see what they do, but you got some 7-footers.
I know none of y'all care about basketball, so I ain't gonna say much, but it's gonna be fun. But obviously it's still football season, so I'm gonna leave it at that. Like I said, I don't really know, man. Like I said, I'm looking forward to everything. They got a lot of games that got potential to be pretty good this week. Even though we got a big game. The rest of the schedule is not as bad other than them other 2 games, man, which I really we need to do something about these games, man. I just don't. Can we please fine people for playing these dudes? You know what I'm saying? Like,
they could have played each other and did that. They could have played each other and did that non-conference thing like y'all be doing.
They already played once. They do a home and home. Well, that last game was in Memphis. But let's do a home and home. One game count, one game don't.
Yeah.
Hey, this how you do it. They all corn and Pine Bluff. They played in Memphis. This week they play in all corn. If Pine Bluff win both games, then they get one SWAC win. If all corn win and Pine Bluff win, then nobody get a SWAC win.
Just leave it out. Just one game is one half,
Yes.
another in the second half.
That's it. Because man, that gives you more chance, more chance to have some excitement than to watch these teams run up the score on these guys. But
yeah, man. But it's gonna be a good band matchup, I think, with Texas Southern and Grambling. And then the biggest matchup will be Bama State going back to Jackson against Jackson State. When they met at the Jackson Battle of the Bands earlier in this year, everybody said that Alabama State band did better in the fifth quarter or whatever when they had their stand battle. So I'm pretty sure both of them probably got new shows, gonna pull out all the stops and all that stuff. So, by it being homecoming, expect something big from the boom. So I'm looking forward to seeing that myself on Sunday morning. I'll find that too.
oh yeah, even for somebody like me, them kind of things kind of draw you in on a Sunday. I'll pull up that kind of stuff and see what's what. Even though I don't really care on Saturday, I look at it on Sunday.
Oh, I don't know if Texas Southern going to Grambling or not. I don't know. I don't know about that. They really haven't been going a lot of places, They've been doing a lot of shows.
Yeah, what y'all think about BCU pulling out of the band competition 2 rankings? I saw they did it too.
I think they should just scrap that thing, man.
BCU don't even do fifth quarters.
Really? I didn't even know that.
They get up and dip.
It's a show.
I mean, yeah, that's what it is. That's what they do. And then, I don't know, people don't like the band of the year for whatever reason. I mean, it's just like any other band when they have like the Battle of the Bands. I don't know why it's kind of hard for people to accept what the judges say, but hey, it is what it is. I don't think that you should have to change your style of your band to fit their quote unquote criteria or whatever.
Yeah, I think that's bad though.
And then they were saying they see some white folks voting in this too.
They got I want to say Ohio State band director. Mm-hmm. I want to say,
which I'm trying to figure out how.
I could tell you one thing that I've noticed since the band of the year thing, and Jackson did pull out, but they don't do them same drills no more. They ain't just marching up with the JSU and turning in. They done switched their whole style up. They drills don't be playing towards the end zone now. Now when they playing their drill, they playing it towards the stands. See, I noticed that, and they got different themes. They're not doing that same show like they had been doing in the past.
Oh, so
yeah. Whether it be because of the band of the year, being in it or out of it or whatever, it has pushed them farther than they have been, or it has switched them up a little bit. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. I mean, when you got like a rigid guideline that you gotta, you gotta appease to get voted on and get judged. I mean, of course you need criteria, but the beauty of this stuff is that everybody is different. That's the beauty of a band matchup. Everybody's different. You don't want to go to a game and see two bands do exactly the same thing. Mm-hmm. I mean, even for me, and I'm the least band person probably on this show. Even for me, that's just boring. I'd rather see one band than to have two bands do the same thing. That's just not fun. That's the beauty of everything, is to see these bands have their own individual styles.
I don't necessarily like anti-band per se, but I can't say that they're a bad band. I think they're a good band. Their shows be good. When they do their halftime shows, I pretty much watch it, I'm entertained by it the same way like I am by Jackson, to the point where I can tell you what they do. So if it's like, if I know what they do, then I'm watching it and entertained by it. But all, like you say, C. Wells, they pretty much different. You know what I mean? They different from each other. So shoot, fam, you don't even have no dancing girls. So they automatically get marked down for that. You know what I mean? Fam, you drum majors don't do all as much other fancy steps and entrances and things like these other drum majors do. They more focused on being crisp and sharp and this, that, and the third. Whereas like Jackson drum majors more like performers. You get what I'm trying to say? But
Yeah, I feel
they
you.
don't, neither one of them switch up what they do. They just do what they do, and you can like it or don't like it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean that's the way I look at it. You can either roll with it or get rolled over, man. Then you shouldn't have to not be who you are. You know what I'm saying? This is not a
Right.
Miss America pageant where everybody got to look the same and everybody got to answer the same question. That's not what this is about. This is about
Right.
being the best that you are. If you like the comment said, can you do what you do better than what somebody else do in their style? I don't want to see you trying to be me or me trying to be you, because one of us ain't gonna do it right, and then
Right.
it really look a mess. You know what I'm saying? And I shouldn't judge you. I shouldn't judge Grambling Band by what somebody else band do, because Grambling Band can't do that. And I'm just using that as an example. That ain't got nothing to do with me and how I feel about the world fame. I'll say that for November. But that's just I just don't agree with that.
And they all sound different. All of them sound pretty much different.
You're not gonna make them sound the same. It's just not. That's just not gonna happen. And now that you got band directors speaking out against this, you might as well just let it ride, man, because that brings more negative attention to this than it brings positive attention to this, because it ain't like nobody is speaking out to defend it. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody taking shots when they need them, and nobody stepping in like, well, I like it. You know what I'm saying?
The masses don't know that. I mean, just in our circle, in the SWAC circle, roughing the SWAC and this, that, and where we be at, we kind of know that they pulled out. But in the grand, the average person that might go to that, to that event, they may not know that this band pulled out. They may just ask, well, why this band ain't here? You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I think it seemed like everybody know, but I don't know if it's reached as far as you think. That's
I mean, I agree with that, and like the comment said, it's more that probably feel the same, that ain't everybody don't have to speak out, but all it takes is a couple people to speak out to at least, for like you said, for the people that are in tune with that kind of stuff, to know what's going on. But the problem is there are a lot of people that don't keep tabs like that. There are a lot of people that are not in these groups. They don't know. They looking like, well, where Jackson stayed at, or whatever, and that to me hurts this more than Jackson State band director. Like, yo, we out. The fact that you still trying to pretend that they in when they not is worse than anything, because now you feeding people fake. I don't want to say it like that. Now you feeding people, what I'm saying, false information.
Yeah. Well, Penn State band director, I think he one of the judges. But he went to Bethune.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He graduated from Bethune. It was a black dude. So I think when you read them schools, you kind of automatically assume, it is what it is. But hey, I don't know. I think all of them be looking for something different, So all I know is, fam, we won one. So everybody mad. That's what I see. Oh, y'all man!
You just had to get to that point, huh?
Get you one.
You just had to build up to that point. Some of us don't care.
Y'all can end it if you want to. Man. But
I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm gonna leave that to the folk that pay attention to that.
Well, yeah, that was a big controversy. That and the comment, but I don't want to talk about that one either.
So that that's a good spot, man. We can go ahead and shut this one down, man. I see we got a lot of people up in here, man. I thank y'all for all coming through, man. I thank y'all for being active in the chat as usual, man. And like I said, we're gonna be back next week. I do wanna kind of let y'all know, man. I appreciate everybody for tuning in because it's been a hectic couple of weeks in this zone over here. And as you can see, I'm in a whole different room than I normally be in. I got boxes and all kind of stuff, man. It's crazy right now. But I thank y'all for supporting us and being there through all of this. And we're gonna continue to do what we do, man, and bring y'all some good stuff. And there's more coming down the line.
It ain't over for the Rattlers. Remember that. You strike and strike and strike again. It ain't over. It ain't over.
I'm gonna say this for my Southern people. Y'all know when it get to be mid third quarter, early fourth quarter, if we starting to play, it ain't over till it's over. So you know what I'm saying? We playing in the first quarter now because we need all the good vibes that we can get.
Jump right on it.
And as soon as the kickoff, it ain't over till it's over. We playing it now, and we still got a couple weeks of life left, and we'll see what happens. And so we'll be back next week, another edition of SWAC Smoke, and we'll catch y'all in, man. Thank y'all for tuning in. We definitely appreciate it, and we feel all the love and support, man. We definitely appreciate it all. So we out, y'all.
All right.